Hey everybody, welcome to the Suburban Stitcher podcast. My name is Diane and this is episode 95, which is insane to me. I can't believe we're getting so close to 100. Today is June 9th, 2016. It's actually my husband's birthday, so I think the kids and I are going to surprise him at work with lunch. And yeah, so we're going to try and get this podcast out before then. I am newly returned from the Zombie Apocalypse retreat in Minnesota. Had the time of my life. Met some very lovely people. And we'll be sharing. Okay, apparently yesterday I thought I was getting sort of gravelly. Today it feels like it is for sure. So I guess that's the post-retreat crud, right? So anyway, I have a lot to talk about with you. I have a couple of finished objects, lots of work in progress, lots of knitting, and lots of zombie apocalypse talk. So, and of course, lots of lovely things and hello lovelies. First, though, I usually save all of my personal chatter and, anything that's not knitting and podcast related. I usually save that till the end, but I just feel like I need to give an update right at the front here. So many of you have known over the last month or so, little over a month, that we been getting our house ready to move and getting everything ready. And we had, I think last show I mentioned, we had a buyer for our house, and we had a house that we were, got accepted a contract on, and that we were going to do the inspection, and that everything was looking good. Long story short, we had to pull out of that house that we had a contract on. It was the most lemon of a house I have ever seen. There were foundation issues, there were plumbing issues, there were electrical issues, there were roof issues. Everything needed to be, the cleaning and the painting was like the easiest minor of the things. Most of the bathrooms needed to be gutted and replaced. And we were all in for a fixer-upper, but this one was beyond our means. So, and then foundation issues means that you can't get a mortgage, and we cannot write a check for a house. So, some people can, we cannot. So anyway, we pulled out of that house. Then the first house that we had fallen in love with and wanted to put an offer in on, someone else had outbid us. Well, it became available again. And while we were thinking about that and trying to decide what we were going to do, and we were going, kind of finalizing all of the things that you do with our buyers on our house. And then Memorial Day happened, and there were crazy, crazy, crazy rains north of us in Texas, which translated into major flooding in and around the Houston area. I keep looking outside because it is so amazing to see. Like, I still am just in shock that I'm sitting in my house right now. Let's see, so Memorial Day was a Monday. I guess last Monday. I'm trying to look at my calendar and think. Memorial Day was last Monday. And so Monday the 30th of June. And on Tuesday, and all that weekend, kind of Memorial Day weekend, and then leading up to the actual day of Memorial Day, we were watching the kind of the flood gauges and the water, and they were predicting unprecedented amounts of water in our area. Like 9 or 10 feet higher than it's gotten in the last 20 years, and 5 feet higher than it had gotten ever in recorded history. So it was one of those things where we think this is where it's going to go, but we have no idea what's going to happen. We do live in a floodplain, so we have flood insurance, and but that's just part of living here. So long story short, our neighborhood flooded dramatically. I will, if I can remember, I'm so bad at linking things sometimes, but I will really try to remember to link to a particular person on YouTube that lives in my neighborhood that was taking video of the neighborhood that I live in and aerial views. He has a drone with a camera, and that's what he does for a living. He takes these videos. And so anyway, he was doing all of that. The Tuesday, the day after Memorial Day, we had been out at one of my son's games, and I was driving back to the neighborhood, and 2 out of the 3 entrances to our neighborhood had been closed off because of water over the roads. There was only one way in and one way out, and water was already getting into most of the streets in the neighborhood. So I called my husband and I said, we have to get out of here tonight. One, because we don't want to be stranded, and number 2, we really can't be stranded because I'm leaving for ZK at 4 o'clock in the morning and I have to get out of our neighborhood. So my family, we evacuated on Tuesday, went to a friend's house, stayed, and then I went to Zombie Apocalypse, and while all of that was happening, our entire neighborhood was underwater, except for my street. My street literally is the only street in our neighborhood that did not flood. It was amazing. It was a miracle. So we did lose the buyer for our house. They pulled out. They were very nervous about the flooding and everything. I can't blame them. But now I can say that, with floodwaters almost 10 feet higher than flood stage and 5 feet higher than they've ever seen in recorded history, our street was 100% dry. 100% dry. There was no street flooding on our street. Granted, there was limited access in and out of the neighborhood, but the street was high and dry. So we're feeling very, very safe and very blessed. We did not lose anything. I have received countless messages from y'all asking how we were doing, and I just want to say thank you so much. So our house selling is on hold until we figure out exactly what we want to do. It's kind of hard to think about selling a house when the people that live right behind you are flooded and pulling out their carpet, and we're going and volunteering and helping people pull out drywall and sheetrock and the soaked insulation in their houses and carpeting and boxing up all of their belongings. It's just hard to think about selling and all of that in that environment. So excuse me, my frog in my throat is returning. So that is kind of where we are. Yeah, so still a whirlwind over here, but it's looking like we're going to be in our house at least through the summer, which is good because summer is so busy for us. And honestly, it would be easier to move during the school year than it would be during the summer. So let's get to knitting, shall we? I have 2 finished objects this week. The first thing that I finished were my May Desert Vista Dye Works socks. I think this one is a tiny bit shorter. I believe this one was the first one that I knit, and the gauge is a little bit tighter. And yeah, so these were knit out of the Zombie Decomp 3-stripe colorway. So there is technically a self-striping, but it is very subtle. And I love that. And that's why I felt like I could get away with a patterned sock on this one. You can see that this actually shows that texture really nicely. It is the Cookie A. Yeah, my sun is so bright that, there we go. It is the Cookie A monkey sock, but it is the no purl version that Crafty Pancakes kind of talks about and linked. Basically, you just you knit all the purls, and that's the only thing that you do. So it really zooms by for a pattern sock, and particularly for a Cookie A sock. But it's lovely, and very thrilled with that finish. So I have completed the first 5 months of the knit along. And now the second thing that I finished is the test knit that I was knitting for Joji Locatelli. And this, I didn't finish on time. She released it a couple of days before I finished this. I actually just bound it off last night, so she released it about a week before, so I was unfortunately dreadfully behind. But the pattern is lovely, and so here it is. I knit this with 2 skeins of hedgehog fibers in, do I have mine? Yes, I do. Hedgehog fibers sock yarn in the teacup colorway. And this is 90% superwash merino, 10% nylon, 100 grams, 400 meters. And teacup is the colorway. So this was such an enjoyable knit. It is a large, let me get this back here. And I didn't aggressively block this at all, so it's probably not perfectly symmetrical, but it is a large just garter body, as you can see, and then the edge has that kind of chevron lace border. It had an alternate, for a tassel, and I went ahead and added the tassels out of the same yarn that I used. Just watched the little tutorial that Joji included in the pattern and just made it work. So it is very large. I will put this on this way. So very, very roomy, and this is so drapey. I could easily drape it up, but you can see it hangs quite low. One thing that and you can see this happening right there. One thing that I would do differently, and I was just ready to cast this off, and I actually wasn't at my house, and so I was just doing the best that I could when I was binding off yesterday. The bind off is just slightly too snug. So it doesn't allow this to stretch quite as much as it probably should. So it tends to want to roll up like that. So I couldn't quite block that lace out as much as I would have liked. But I think overall that it's just fine. And actually not allowing me to stretch the lace as much meant that the garter stayed a lot squishier, because I didn't just really aggressively block that. So, but overall I love it. I love the color. I mean, it's white and pink, so it's going to go with everything that I wear. I love the little tassels. I was on the fence about them, and I'm looking at it now. I'm so happy that I went ahead and did them. I think they're super cute. So yeah, so this would be, it's light colors, but it's easily you could wear it all year. I'm really very excited about this. I may just put that on like that. And over your shoulders, it's actually a very nice knit. So, oh wow, and it's quite long because I'm sitting here with lots of it in my lap. So those are the things that I finished this week. I was able to get a good amount of knitting done, which was really nice. This actually was the majority of what I worked on at the retreat, because I was probably about there with the garter section. So, those of you that knit big crescent shaped, shawls like this, once you get to those last, handful of rows, they are so long, and this one was no exception. So it was perfect retreat knitting. I literally was probably maybe there. I had quite a bit of the body of the shawl left to do, plus the lace. So yeah, it was perfect retreat knitting because you are sitting and talking and you don't really think about how long the rows are that you're knitting, and you just knit. So it was lovely. And that is it for finished objects. Works in progress. I cast, I finished this shawl yesterday, and so I immediately cast on for my Camp Loopy shawl for June. This is the first Camp Loopy project. 400 yards is the requirement, and it has to be something that is either like some sort of special technique, so either lace or cables or there were several other things. And so for me, I wanted it to be a shawl because then I can participate in the Around Your Neck cowl. And then I also wanted it to be lace because that's what I enjoy, and that seemed like the best fit. So I am knitting. As you can see, I just barely started, but so sorry. I'm wondering if I should be taping today at all. I am knitting the Spindrift shawl, and this is a pattern by Helen of the Curious Handmaids podcast and Curious Handmaids Designs. This is actually a free pattern if you sign up for her How to Knit Shawl workshop. So it's linked on Ravelry, and you can, all of the information is in there, but it's a lovely, lovely, very similar to what I just, finished knitting, where it has this, large body. This one's actually stockinette, and then with the detail of lace at the bottom. So it's my favorite kind of thing to knit. So I'm really excited about it. I also love the way that she writes her patterns. It's so straightforward, using a percentage system, so you know exactly how many stitches should be on every row, how much percent of the shawl is done at that point, and it just is great for keeping you motivated. So, excuse me. So here's the shawl. All of that to say. The yarn that I am using is Shalimar Yarns. I don't think I've ever used Shalimar. I own a skein of it, but I've never used this brand, so that's exciting. It's the Breathless base, which is 75% superwash merino, 15% cashmere, and 10% silk. And the colorway is called Crayfish, which I'm sure that maybe where Shalimar is dyed, that is how you say it, but seems like a sacrilege to me. Because it should be crawfish. However, I got past that because the color is beautiful. So this is it all skeined up. Trying not to tangle this because I actually have it attached in my bag here that I'll show you in a minute. But it is this gorgeous kind of silvery blue gray that has darks and light tones, and then it has these pops of pink. So very Diane. And it's like butter soft. It's absolutely amazing. So I have cast it on, and that is how it stands so far. So I love that you can see the colors and how they're knitting up right there. I think it's just beautiful. And I am knitting this on size 6 signature needles. I purchased these at DFW this year, and it's my first time using them, so I'm pretty excited. But I use size 6s a lot. This is just the first new shawl that I've cast on since then. So that is that. And this is being housed in a new bag. I messaged Michelle from Studio in the Green and told her I needed a couple of new shawl sacks because they're my favorite of size of her bags that she makes. So this is one that I got. I love it. It's like cross-stitched looking with the super duper cute gingham lining. And of course these all have the yarn guides in there, so you can see like I have my yarn going through this one, and it also has the zippered divider in there. So that one, that's a work in progress. I have been working on socks, and this is the other bag that I bought for Michelle. I bought 2 bags from her. This one I just love. Those peachy orange flowers with the gray, I am smitten with it. Same style. This one, however, this is not holding a shawl. This is holding 3 pairs of socks because it's that big and it can just hold everything. It was perfect to bring on my trip. And you can keep your yarn running through the yarn guide so it separates them all. And I mean, it just worked brilliantly for me. So I finished, let's take these off. I feel like I'm kind of running in slow-mo today. I finished the first of these socks for my son. These he won't get until probably sometime in the fall, maybe for his birthday, because they'll be a little big right now, I think. But especially since the sock blocker is for me and it's not that much smaller. But this is the sock. It is another Crafty Girl floating lanterns, and this is her sport weight sock. So it was 56 stitches. It just zoomed by, and really loving that. I have not cast on the second one yet, but because I have all these socks in this one bag, it's just super easy to pick one up and work on it. I think that I have shown you this one before. This is the Fawn and the Fox, the first sock that I finished. Made it a little bit shorter, and this is where this one is. So it is cast on, and actually it's probably getting quite close. I need to count the rounds. I think I did 30 rounds. So I'm probably within 5 or 10 rounds of being done with the leg on this one. So then, I mean, that's just really moving on. And the last sock in this bag, I feel like it's all socks all the time, and I just pick up whatever I feel like that moment to work on. These are blueberry waffles. You can see my Sucra miniatures that's still on there. Blueberry waffles. The yarn is O Loops in the Titania colorway. So that one is the first one. And the second one is, there we go. The second one is a toe. I'm looking, I think I have like a weird drop stitch or something. It doesn't, not drop stitch, like a skipped stitch. Slipped stitch really is what it is. Oh well. But that's the second one. So, looking good. So those are some sock whips that I've been working on. I have one more sock whip that completes my work in progress. While I was in Minnesota, I started a pair of socks. I had brought this sock yarn because I've just been dying to cast on with it. And the yarn is Spun Right Round sock yarn. It's kind of blowing it out. There we go. Yeah, that's way better color. Spun Right Round in the Clairvoyant colorway. I'm going to show you this bag in a minute because it's super cute. But this is a needle keeper that I was gifted by one of you. And I'm actually knitting these on wooden TPNs. These are Cubics size 1, 2.25 set knitter's pride. And so here's the sock, which is super fun. It looks like cotton candy, or somebody said those, like, what are those little, those like melt away, those minty melt away things that you see at like baby showers and bridal showers and things. They're like the little square, I can't think of the name of them. But anyway, yeah, so I'm super, super loving how this is turning out. Just totally, totally loving the yarn. And that's a really accurate color. I mean, it's just cotton candy fun. And this is being kept in a bag that I got at ZK. I actually traded with Rista1313, who is Girl Cave Bags, and as you can see, girlcavebags.etsy.com, and I just couldn't stand it, the cuteness of this one. Cute campers, and the inside is sleeping bags. Right? So cute. So yeah, I was pretty excited about getting this. I love it. So that is it for works in progress. I do have one needle adjacent project that will probably get started in the next day or so. And that is my June Desert Vista Dye Works yarn. And the colorway is Zombody's Curiouser. So this is from the brand new Alice in Wonderland series. And I released some Alice bags that were up for pre-order. They are already sold out. So if you got one, I'm so excited for you. And if you missed out, I'm so sorry. That fabric is super hard to get, and special printed and takes forever to come in. And so that's why they're pre-order and sort of a long pre-order. I hate to do that, but anyway, but this is the yarn, right? So it's zombie stripes with a yellow for her hair, and then this blue and white sort of speckled stripe that will be for her dress. And I'm just so excited to cast this on. So I felt like it was only appropriate to start with Alice. This is a new series that Susan is doing, and it's going to be awesome. You will love all of them. The second one that she came out with is, I think, it's the Cheshire Cat colorway, and I forget what she named it, but it's beautiful. So that is needle adjacent, as Megan would say. It's coming soon. I think that's it for things that are on the needles and that are being worked on. Okay, I'm gonna have to take this off and actually put it on my legs as a blanket. Because this is that lovely time of year in the South where it's burning up outside, and in order to kill the humidity and to not be a complete sweaty mess, you run the air conditioner like crazy, and then you're freezing inside and hot outside. So right now I'm the freezing inside stage. Okay, so hello lovelies. There's a lot to show you, mostly because Zombie Knitpocalypse was awesome. It can never be understated. Getting together with knitting friends is always the best. If you've never done that, or if you've never, whether it's a retreat, a festival, whatever it is, I hope that all of you, at least one time in your life, can get together with knitting friends with like minds, whether they're friends that you know or friends that you haven't met yet, but that you leave with amazing friendships. I just hope for all of you that you're able to experience it. It's like nothing else. And I will say, I was in an extra weird mind place for the first several days of this retreat, just not knowing if my house was going to flood, if my family was safe. But I just, I'm watching this footage online from across the country of my neighborhood completely being overtaken by water and not knowing if my house would be affected. And just the support and love from everybody else there was outstanding. So thank y'all so much for that. The goodie bag that we got was absolutely stunningly amazing. It's chock full of things. So we all got this cup, which is this Tervis style tumbler. I love it. It's got the lid that you can use, this way, and it also came with a straw. I've been using this basically nonstop. Since we got home, I actually need to put it in the dishwasher again because I'm using it so much. We got this amazing bag from the Silver Shed. So every single person at the retreat got this. It says ZK2016. Just completely like blown away. Just completely blown away by this. So these are from Silver Shed, USA. This was the bag, and it's got this nice black bottom and then this dumpling style. The inside is rainbow as well. The thing that's awesome about it is when you're knitting, you can kind of fold this down and have it sit on the table like that. So it's open like a bucket, but is still totally portable. So that was really awesome. I ran the 5K, so I got a 5K ZK hat, which I haven't even put on yet, but it actually fits quite nicely. It's kind of awesome. I feel like I look weird in this hat. It gives me like puppy dog ears. So I got the hat. We all got this Notions pouch, ZK, with full of coupon codes and business cards from vendors, so all sorts of things. It had some chocolates in there, which I gave away because unfortunately they had wheat in them, so I couldn't eat them. It has a pair of stork scissors from the Silver Shed, which that was super fun because you can always use more scissors. This pack of Allure Fiber Wash from the folks over at Allure and Bijou Basin. A Simply Socks yarn ruler needle gauge, which I am always saying that I needed another one of those. A sample from Miss Babs. And this is like a shopping bag, like the little portable shopping bags. So some super great stuff in there, and it's just a really usable sized tote Notions pouch. And then we all got these needle keepers, so you can put your needles in the end there, and it just keeps them nice. And this one, Stockinette Zombies, I actually traded with a roommate, Sarah, because she wanted green, or she said she wanted green and I wanted pink, and she was kind enough to trade with me. I just really wanted pink. So we traded. Let's see, what else is in here? Oh, a Zombie Knitpocalypse tattoo. Levin Leche. This is, a coupon code for Levin Leche. And the yarn, the mini skeins. And remember this bag? Look at this. It's the same yarn from the bag. So, right? Totally awesome. And the yarn dyers, I'm opening this up to tell you just because I think that it's amazing. I Okay, I've totally ripped this packaging with no way to salvage it. Oh well. So the red is Cyborg's Craft Room. The orange is Marigold Jen. Yellow is Another Crafty Girl. Green is Leading Men Fiber Arts. Blue is Sun Valley Fibers. Purple is One Twisted Tree. And the pink speckle is Stardust, Sophie's Toes. So super, super fun. I got to do all the Rochester things like eat at Panakuchen and lovely downtown restaurants, which are amazing. I love the walkability of that city. So that was just, started it off right. Like I said, I ran the 5K and I finished it, so I got my medal, which is this awesome wooden keychain, and I put it on my retreat bag. So this is a pre-order retreat bag from, not One Twisted Tree. Well, kind of is One Twisted Tree. This is from Silver Shed USA made this, but the yarn is the One Twisted Tree purple from here. And I didn't know that it was Danny's yarn, and since she's one of my friends, it made it extra special. And then I actually picked the pink lining, so that's Sophie's Toes Stardust colorway. And so that's the pearl stitches on the inside with the purple knit outside. And I think this is her medium size. Oh, and this was a lovely gift from a knitter. From a knitter to a knitter. Luggage tag. So awesome. So I got that. Move this because I'm just terrified of snagging this thing. What else? Oh, I won a door prize. So I won Max and Bodie's wardrobe from Tin Can Knits. So thank you to the folks at Tin Can Knits. I think everything else is enabling. Hello, lovelies. Okay, so the first purchase, first purchase that I made was from Marigold Jen. And getting to see her stuff in person was hugely amazing. Oh, the other thing that was hugely amazing is that market. I had only ever seen one person in real life, one vendor. So everybody there was new to me, which was amazing. So exciting to see people that I'd never seen in real life and meet them and see their yarn in person and just get to pick and squish, and it was amazing. So this is Marigold Jen, and this is her sock weight yarn, which is a 70% merino, 30% silk. So it will be a shawl. You can see all the colors in there. And this colorway is called Street Graffiti. It's 430-ish yards, 438. So we'll make a great one skein shawl. Janina Callio has a lot of shawls that are one skein. It would be great for that one I'm knitting, that Spindrift shawl. And then I definitely had a theme at her booth, black with rainbows. This is Kaleidoscope, and it is an 80% merino, 20% nylon, two ply, 400 yards. So this is Kaleidoscope. She said it was one of her newer colorways, and she had a sample of it knit up, and it was stunning. So I got those. This one was really exciting for me too. Like, this was on my must-have list. I got a magic ball from Sophie's Toes. And this is the Mardi Gras colorway. She has a lot of very pink ones, and I was so tempted by those, but this one just spoke to me because I think of all of the other colors in it. So it says, it is 15 colors of sock yarn tied together and wound into a cake. The sections are tied together in square knots. You can leave the knots in, knit over them, or undo them to do your favorite join if you are averse to weaving in ends. a magic ball is not for you. If you love the artistic, scrappy, or hand-spun look, you will love it. It's like a kit of mini skeins hand-picked by an artistic eye, arranged in a beautiful color palette, and ready to knit. So this is 150 grams, 525 yards. So 10 grams each of the minis. I definitely think I want to make that magic cake ruffle shawl by Paula Emmons Feasley. I think that would be amazing with this. So I got that. Yeah, definitely. Can you see I had a rainbowy? And then just wait until we get to the other things. I picked up this mug, which was just hilarious. All of my roommates, we got one. I don't know if it's going to, I may just leave it in the box, but it's one of those stemless wine glasses, and it has these little sheep dancing, and it says 3 sheeps to the wind. So pretty cute. Maybe one day if I'm taping in the evening, I will show you. But for sure, when I use it, you'll see it on Instagram. Oh, I was gifted these lovely mini skeins. I think they've come unraveled in travel. This one is from Danny, One Twisted Tree. I don't know what the colorway, but it's this beautiful purple. And this one is from Lavender Loon. I was so excited to meet you. You are the sweetest, cutest thing ever. And thank you for the stitch markers. Love them. They're some of my favorite. And this is Peepaloo Fields from the January Club. So it's this gorgeous, it's a single ply kind of neutral background with these pops of color. And she participated in the mini skein swap, and then she said she saved this one to give to me. I was like, that's awesome. Totally looks like it needs to go on my blanket. So I'm pretty excited about that. I visited a new to me vendor and fell down hard. I visited the yarn truck. Knit Buffalo. There is a picture on Instagram of me being completely too ridiculously excited about buying yarn off of a truck. But she has other dyers and things that she carries in this truck, but I only bought her yarn because it was too gorgeous. And the other things I can get other places, but hers was just so amazing. Had to get her stuff. So I bought a skein of bulky weight. I'm trying to blow it out. So it's this natural color, but then it's got all of what are going to be like pops of this lavender and brown speckles. So that would make like a super fun hat or cowl or something for the winter. Also, it would make, I should have gotten 2, now I'm thinking, it would have made one of those Opposites Attract, I think, by Plucky Knitter, where you use the bulky weight and then use the lace weight and you knit it together. Right? That would be amazing. Because you could use any color with this because this is mostly white. Oh well, missed out. I got 2 skeins. Oh, have to read you these names. Okay, so this is 716 knit, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 76 yards. Didn't know there would be nylon in here. That's interesting. It's called Hell Hath No Fury, Like a Woman Scorned for Sega. Then I got 2 skeins of her single ply fingering weight yarn. Right, it's blowing this out. This electric pink is just, I'm just totally attracted to it lately. This one, what? Oh my gosh, so exciting. So this one is called Winning Friends Through Telepathy. And this one is Anna Nicole Smith Thinks You Look Tacky. I just can't even, they crack me up. So I think these are definitely going to have to go together in a 2 skein shawl of some sort. And then I got 2 skeins of sock yarn. This one just looked, this was a very like suburban stitcher color because it's sort of on this mauvey purple background, light pinky purple. with all the speckles. And is she not the best at speckles? Dying. This one's called The Latest in Fall Fascism. And same base, an 80/20 nylon. Different colored speckles on like a natural background. These are more neon. And this colorway is called Your Face is a Poem. Okay, and then the last bag of goodies. Oh, and I forgot to say that there will be some giveaway things coming up. This I got in the yarn swap. It's fun, super fun. This is from Propaganda Yarns. It's a 100% superwash merino. I don't know how to say the name of the colorway, but just looked super fun. This will be a giveaway for you guys coming up soon. This is a skein from the lovely Jennifer of Daisy Knits, and she let me pick something out to give away to you guys. I hope you like what I chose. And it's not yet named, but she said that it is inspired by a Montana sunset. This color right here, that like peachy, that pink where it's going into the yellow and making that peach colorway. It's gorgeous. But this is her 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. So that one will be a giveaway for y'all sometime. The lovely Jenny from Penguin Soup. Oh my gosh, yeah, this has cashmere. I was like, this is so soft. It's MCN. She gave me 2 skeins of yarn. One to keep and one to give away. And I have decided, since I am not a Doctor Who fan, I need to share the Doctor Who love with y'all. This is her Royal MCN sock, which is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. The colorway is called, I think it's probably a song, Do We You, something like that. I'm sure that you're screaming at me if I've sung that wrong, but so it's a Doctor Who reference. So that will be a giveaway for y'all. And the one that I decided to keep because this color slays me is also MCN base called Losers, and I think that it's maybe inspired by Guardians of the Galaxy, but I could be wrong. All these references that I don't get, but that I love the colorways for. So that one gets to stay with me. And then the last place that I fell down hard at was another crafty girl. I got 4 skeins of sock yarn there. This one I got, these are all an 80/20 superwash, or no, these first 2 are 80/20, her strong sock. This one is called Hey, Your Nose is Loose. And I think it's Sesame Street, either Ernie or Bert. I can't remember which one is orange. But I got it because my son's baseball team is orange and blue. And it is so rare to see those colors together for royal blue and orange, carrot orange. So I got that because that would just be fun to knit socks during the summer while I'm watching all of his games. Similar reason as to why I got this one. One, I think it would just make great boy socks. It's called the Great Wave, and he's on an all-star team over the summer that is navy blue and white. So these seemed appropriate because we all like to theme up our knitting. Then I got 2 skeins of her sparkle sock, just because they were so pretty I couldn't leave them behind. This one's called Have Some Candy. So like kind of a pinkish reds with the purples and the golds. And this last one is called Not So Imaginary. And this one was just beautiful. I've seen this one so many times online and almost purchased it. Right? A couple of other things that came in the mail that were pre-orders. While I was gone, I got a skein. Sorry, it's packaged so nicely. Well, maybe you can see it. Okay, so this is Jinx yarn. The colorway is her anniversary colorway called Confetti and Champagne. It is her sport weight sock. And it's a striping, so it's got those golds and greens and grays and lots of pretty. And it's sport weight, which is my new favorite thing. And I also got an order, so two different orders in from Sucra Miniatures. She was running specials. Well, one of these I just bought because I collect her cupcakes, and this was a new one, and I had to have it because it is a donut on top of a cupcake. Don't know if that's going to come across, but you can see it is a pink speckled donut on top of a pink cupcake. So that one is adding to the collection. I got a blueberry glazed donut because these were, back when I could eat donuts, blueberry donuts were my absolute favorite. That's all I ordered every time. I got a bacon cheeseburger because that's like my favorite food of all time. And I forget why, but whatever day it was that she was running this special with a coupon and everything, it was some sort of like Halloween or some sort of spooky day. And so she did for this day only, I'm bringing back some of these retired Halloween cupcakes. So I had to get this one. And they have the little witch hats on top, super cute. The purple one. So, yay. Something I also noticed, make sure y'all are reading, because I've never heard anybody talk about this, and it's a really good customer thing, is that she puts these labels, I'm not going to show it, she puts these labels on top of your boxes when you order. There's a coupon code for repeat customers. So if you are like me and have ordered many times and are just maybe have never seen it, look out next time you order. So I think that's it. Whew. That's a lot. Yeah, thank y'all. I also want to say a big thank you to everybody who ordered the pre-order that I did with Dana of Unwind Yarn Company. Oh, I have that yarn right here too. Also sport weight sock. I will open this one up. Sorry for that noise. But, right, so if you are one of the lucky ones that is getting this kit, this is what you are getting. It's gorgeous. I don't have a bag handy, but yeah, so there were 50 of y'all that lucked out and got in on that pre-order. We thought we were going to leave it up for a couple of weeks, and it sold out in like 24 hours. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much to everybody who's getting that. I know you will love it. It's an amazing kit. Those will ship out in July. And yeah, perfect time for middle to end of summer knitting for you guys. Okay, that is definitely it. Thank y'all every week for coming back. This is a little bit longer, and I do apologize for that, but there was just too many lovely things to talk about and to show. Have a great week, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.